All right, guys, thank you for tuning in again. I really appreciated that question about how to map something out with a ruler. It makes me realize that I skip over things at times, and so I appreciate that. Okay, so first thing about a paper is that when you buy a piece of paper, there is a factory that cuts the outside edges, and those are called factory edges. As soon as you cut your own piece of paper, even with a cutting board, there's room for error. So you don't know that those edges are straight, and you don't know that those corners are square. So when I'm measuring something out or doing a grid over something, I always do my best to use the factory edges. Now, rulers are helpful for this, obviously, because you can map things out. But all rulers are different. So you have to sort of look at the ruler and see, first of all, where zero starts. Because in some rulers, they don't actually, the measuring doesn't start at the edge. It'll start inside of the edge. And so it'll tell you that when you look. In this case, I'm good to go. So I can butt this up to the edge. Okay. Now, what I want to do is didn't bring a ruler that's long enough for this paper. So I'm going to have to measure multiple points and dots and points to connect them into a straight line. So if you don't have a big enough ruler, like I don't, you'll have to, it just means you do a little bit more work. I always start from one edge and move over, and from here I'll move up, all the way up. Okay. So with that said, I try and be consistent in terms of where the line is. Okay, so I'm just going to do a mark here. Here is the edge of my paper, and here is my ruler. I don't know if you can see this. Let me see if I can zoom in. Okay. So here is the edge of my paper. Here is my line. You want to be consistent and eat that. I call it eating. You're going to eat that line with the edge. You don't want to go over on the other side of that line or over here, because that'll be inconsistent. Try to be consistent when you're measuring your marks, okay? So I'm going to start with the bottom here. I'm going to, actually, it'll make it a lot easier. I'm going to work upside down, partly because I'm left-handed, but also because the ruler starts at 0 and I'm working this way. So I'm going to line the factory edge with the edge of my ruler, and I'm going to mark every 2 inches. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. All right? Now I can come up here, go a little higher, and line up my factory edge with the edge of the ruler. 2, 4, 6, 6, that was 5, 6, 8, look at that, right where I put that mark, 10, 12 at the end of the ruler. Okay. Now when you're connecting the dots, I suggest either lining it up and holding the ruler in the middle, or what you can do is set your pencil on the dot and butt the ruler up to it. Then you know that your line's going to be right at that dot. So do the top, do the bottom, check it again, and make sure the ruler's nice and tight, and you are good to go. Nice light line all the way to the top. Now, I'm going to have to measure up here to continue the line up, but for this demo, I'm just going to do the bottom corner, okay? So either you line it up like this, check your pencil mark, make sure it's in the middle of that dot. That looks good. Draw your line. Check your mark. Check your mark. That's a little to the right of that dot. That looks good. Make your line. Good. Okay, let's work our way up. Keep your lines light. Let's work our way up. We're going to start with the factory edge. We're going to start with the ruler at 0. Line, butt the end to the end of the pad. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Do it again over here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Line your pencil marks up. Create your grid. Always work from one direction all the way to the other. All right. I have nice, even, proportionate squares, 2-inch squares, and I'd have to continue this all the way through. I hope that helps with your question about the rulers and how to use them. As soon as I think of some other tricks, I'll share them with you.